Welcome, nerds, to the movie news for the week. This is where we're going to be talking about all of the nerdy and or pop culture related movie news that we can get our grubby little hands on. So like if it's been announced, if there's a new trailer, if there's casting, all of that's gonna be here. So let's get into that, shall we? Movies! This is the movie section. So in the movie section, we have Deadpool 3 has made a casting announcement that really needs to be discussed. We also have Aquaman update from Jason Momoa that is really messing with nerds' heads. And then we got Scrubs movie to talk about. Aristocats is the next Disney movie getting the live action treatment, but this one might not be so lost as previous entries in that category. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about a lot more. Let's get into it. So, follow-ups and corrections. Follow-ups in the movies section start with Captain America: New World Order. We have official word that Liv Tyler, who was Betty Ross in the Eric Bana movie, that's right, the one that Ang Lee directed that looked beautiful but was honestly kind of hot garbage, that movie, she's coming back to be Betty Ross again. That's right, the daughter of one General Thaddeus Ross, who we know is going to be playing the president in the movie, who's also going to be the Red Hulk, you know, all of that stuff. Yeah, pretty crazy, because that kind of implies that the Eric Bana and the Edward Norton Hulk are canon to the MCU. We already knew Edward Norton technically was. He got fired, but it's still his story leads into all of the other things. Yeah, we know that, but like the Bana movie? Seriously? Okay. Next, we're talking about the D&D documentary that had technically been a rumor up until now, has been officially announced. So the release date also has been announced, kind of. Joe Manganiello has himself taken to the socials and such to say that it will be released in 2024. There is now Wizards of the Coast is getting behind this and starting to do marketing and such for it. So they're building the hype machine, and they've got a little less than a year to do it. So that's, I can get behind that. And then we have the Aquaman follow-up. All right, so Jason Momoa, it's really screwing with our heads. Games Radar did an interview with him where he is talking about the future of the character Arthur Curry in the DCU going forward. So maybe he's not gonna be playing Lobo. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, this interview just really kind of throws a monkey wrench into a lot of people's theories as to what's going to be happening after Aquaman 2. Though, if you'll remember back, we did talk about this. Very likely we will be getting a third movie from the Aquaman franchise, and then the transition is going to happen for Momoa, if it happens at all. So at the very, very least, we will have a trilogy of Aquaman movies with Jason Momoa as Aquaman. And then it's kind of anybody's guess from that point, because this is just muddying the waters even more. We're taking this one with a grain of salt either way, even though it does come from Momoa himself. Momoa, I can say that name. Yeah, so we'll be keeping tabs on this. We have been, we'll continue. The last follow-up we have is Deadpool 3. We have a casting announcement. Mathew McFadyen, who is from the show Succession, he's Tom, he's a greaseball. He's been cast, but they're keeping it under wraps as to who he has been cast as. So let the speculation begin. Who the hell could Mathew McFadyen who could he be in the Deadpool franchise? I honestly don't really know, because he's not exactly who I would put in a comic book superhero movie. So yeah, again, speculation, run wild, comment section and such. That's what we got for follow-ups and corrections. Let's get into trailers. We got one from Elemental. This is the next Pixar movie that is coming out in June 16th specifically. Trailers sufficient. Like, I don't know. I'm starting to lose faith in Pixar, but this one looks like they might be pulling back on the politics a little bit, which is a good idea. Though, honestly, it looks like it's gonna be some sort of allegory for like racism and stuff, which is a better message to send to kids than previous attempts at other socio-political messaging that they've been trying to push on kids. So yeah, the idea of racism being bad, great. Anything that they've done previously that we're not going to talk about, probably less great. Next, we're talking about the Power Rangers Once and Always trailer. We actually have a proper trailer. There's actually been a little bit of controversy with this because what's her name? Amy Jo Johnson came out recently and made some comments that have the fan base in a little bit of a tizzy. She even brought Jason David Frank into it, saying that they both did not agree to do this movie willingly. They had their own personal reasons. Her comments were a little off color in that, you know, she at one point said, well, maybe I just don't want to be dressed up in spandex in my 50s. I don't think that was the thing. I think that was just her saying, it's none of your damn business. It's my decision to not do this. Which is fair, but I feel like she obviously doesn't understand nerd culture because she wouldn't have spoken in such a way. She would have been a little more precise with her words, or probably just kept her mouth shut if she didn't want a whole crazy backlash. Anyway, there's a trailer. The trailer looks actually kind of cool. Real hard nostalgia vibes. Rita Repulsa has returned and the putties are everywhere again. I felt like I was 8 all over again, and I'm probably gonna watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not overly proud about that kind of stuff. It's fun. It's, you know, something to do. The other thing of note in this trailer is, in spite of the fact that Jason David Frank is not in the movie, there is a clip with the Green Ranger, with the shoulder pads and the whole 9 yards Green Rangers. So as far as I know, he was the only one that did that. So it looks like they're trying to make some sort of connection now that he has since passed, which sucks. And that just seems really dirty. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Let's move on, shall we? Now let's talk about some regular ass news. We got something of an update. I honestly don't think we've talked about this previously, but Scrubs was a TV show that was actually quite hilarious. I kind of loved it. The creator of the Scrubs show, if I can find his name in the notes, creator Bill Lawrence spoke with Variety saying that a reunion movie is inevitable. So that's all we know about it. Like, there's no confirmation that there's any sort of pre-production going on right now, but the dude created the series. He also is the showrunner on Ted Lasso, so he's got a little bit of clout. So if anybody is able to make it happen, it's gonna be this guy. So if he says it's inevitable, then no reason to argue with the man. Let's just wait for the inevitable to happen, shall we? Just be excited when it does. Next, let's talk about the Aristocats. This is a Disney animated movie that came out in, I believe, in the 60s, because it was jazz related. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the 60s. I didn't write the date of the original release in the notes because, say it with me now, I take amazing notes. But yeah, so this is going to be the next live action Disney remake. And there's a couple of interesting things about this. First off, we tried this once with cats, right? So hopefully that doesn't happen. We also kind of did this once with The Lion King, and that didn't blow over so well either. So hopefully they've at least learned from those two mistakes. I know Cats was not a Disney movie, but it was still an anthropomorphic cat movie. So hopefully they don't go anthropomorphic with it. And then The Lion King is, we got to make their faces expressive. I know it's supposed to be quote unquote live action, but you need some expression here. It's just not going to work. So there's that. But the big piece here, I think, is that Questlove, drummer from The Roots, also known as Ahmir Thompson, yeah. Also known as Ahmir Thompson, is going to be the director of this live action remake. And not just the director, he's also going to oversee the music, obviously, because he's freaking Questlove, and he's going to be an executive producer on the project too. So this is Questlove's baby, it sounds like, and I'm honestly here for it because I think Questlove is kind of a genius. So let's see what happens there. I still can't really get on board much with the live action remakes happening left and right, but I'm intrigued by the idea of Questlove doing a movie. So that's that. Moving right along, what we've got next is movie suggestion, and take my nerd card if you want, but this week's suggestion in movies is the movie Definitely Maybe. Ryan Reynolds is in one of, if not the best rom-com ever. I think Definitely Maybe is on a level all its own. I don't care. I don't even care. It's just that damn good. Also featuring Abigail Breslin, Isla Fisher, Rachel Weisz, Elizabeth Banks. Just an incredible cast. All of them with their own nerd cred. Maybe to a lesser extent Isla Fisher, but everyone else in this cast, in this main supporting cast, has some sort of nerdy credibility. So yeah, I just go watch it. If you're too manly to do it by yourself, then have an excuse to watch a movie that your girlfriend will also appreciate, or your significant other will also appreciate. But it's a good movie. Watch it. And once again, nerds, this is just a clip from the main show, the Weekend Nerddom, over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go check that out for the entire episode, or just stay tuned here for other news related to nerdy pop culture stuff and just random fun little bits. Before we head out, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.